The Senate confirming Tulsi Gabbard to serve as Director of National Intelligence. The Senate confirming her by a vote of 52 to 48 after she cleared a key Senate test vote on Monday night. So all Democrats voted against Gabbard. All Republicans voted for her except for one, former GOP leader Mitch McConnell. He was the only Republican to break ranks and vote against Gabbard's nomination. The second time he's voted against a Trump nominee. The first one was when he voted against Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary. ABC's Jay O'Brien is joining me now for more on this. So, Jay, let's start with McConnell here. He seemed to have some choice words about Gabbard following this vote. What is he saying about what led him to a no?
Mitch McConnell, a fly in the soup, a thorn in the side of Donald Trump for his nominees. He was one of, remember, 3 Republicans who voted against Pete Hegseth for Secretary of Defense, and J.D. Vance, the vice president, had to step in and break that tie. Now here, he was the only Republican to vote against Tulsi Gabbard, who was once considered one of Donald Trump's most controversial nominees, but ended up turning some of those maybe votes and some moderate Republicans who were on the fence about her into yes votes, except for Mitch McConnell. And Mitch McConnell issues this scathing statement, as you said, and he says that Tulsi Gabbard, I'll read from a part of it, quote, failed to demonstrate that she is prepared to assume this tremendous national trust, referring to the job of the Director of National Intelligence, who is at the epicenter of the U.S. intelligence community. Now, there were Republicans who had said they were concerned that Gabbard had echoed pro-Kremlin talking points in the past. They were concerned about a 2017 meeting she had with then Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. There were even some Republicans who gave Gabbard hard questions in her confirmation hearing about previous praise she had had for Edward Snowden. But all of those Republicans who said that they had those concerns in the past, they fell in line, except for Mitch McConnell here, Kana.
Interesting. And let's now talk about Mike Johnson, if we can. We know he's unveiled this new budget blueprint to advance President Trump's legislative agenda. So what is in this proposal, and does it have a chance of getting through?
Yeah, this is the start of that one big, beautiful bill that Trump and Johnson have talked about, of putting all of Donald Trump's campaign promises into one legislative vehicle, doing it through the budgeting process, and hoping they can get it through the House and through the Senate. This is an ambitious plan that Johnson has put forward. It has about $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. It has $2 trillion in cuts to the federal government, which looks like is going to be a tall order for Republicans. It calls for that, rather. It doesn't necessarily outline exactly how it wants to get there. And 60% of the federal government, as you know, Kana, is either Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, or defense spending. Republicans have said they don't want to touch all of that, but they also want to get to that $2 trillion number. So that's going to be a tall order. They also want to raise the debt ceiling, and there are further right Republicans who staunchly oppose raising the debt ceiling at any turn. So it's unclear if Johnson's going to be able to get those on his side with this plan.
Well, I know you'll be watching that closely for us. Jay O'Brien, our thanks to you as always.